English translation, 120th contact, Wednesday, 14th February, 1979, 01 to 40 HRs.
Unfortunately, it was impossible for me to come here last Thursday.
That is no longer bad, because I have enough work anyway, without the contact reports.
That is well known to me. Have you already dealt in the last days with the subject of the new writing?
A little bit, but I think that I will soon bring the book together.
That is good, for it is of urgent necessity.
You can really be calmed. I have really had all sorts of thoughts about the matter, and already more or less know how I will begin everything and carry it all out. But before I can begin with this, I still have to finish some spiritual teaching letters.
You also should not be prevented from doing that by the new work. Moreover, I also did not come here to ask you about these things. It is more important for me to know whether something has already been done in reference to the USA. But on the other hand, I would also like to make you attentive again regarding the group members, with whom an urgent change is needed in different areas.
Oh, well, I still have not heard anything from America because one still has not picked up the proclamation from me.
That is extremely negligent. You should urgently refer the people to the fact that our given time cannot be exceeded by us. There are now only 4.5 weeks before the time period will have expired. After this time, we can no longer get involved in anything at all, if no positive decision has been made by then. You should communicate this to the relevant persons.
I will do it.
Good. Then now listen very closely to what I still have to say in reference to the group members. I came here to explain these things to you because I would be very sorry if group members had to be excluded again. And in addition, still in the form that they would never have any more access to any matters in the internal or external area of the community. Therefore, it is to be explained once more that we must adhere to our set conditions down to the last detail and may allow no exceptions at all. So our requirements, in reference to the group members H.S. and Herbert R. Dausch, are unalterable. This means that H.S. must ensure that he becomes resident in the mentioned area of the near vicinity of the center, which has to be accomplished by the end of this month. If he does not follow this determination, then an exclusion from the community has to take place, which gives him, for all time, no further possibility at all of ever finding inlet again into the internal or external matters of the community. This, then, is to be observed by the entire group population, and it is to act accordingly. If an exclusion of this form would take place, and if even only a single group member would act against the relevant determinations, such that H.S. would receive further insight into the group matters, etc., even only in a single detail, then this would be the end of our contacts. But H should act now, for the time is very short for him. On the other hand, he himself knows very well, if he considers everything thoroughly, that the condition placed on him will primarily only be useful to him, for he can then finally begin to live in that form that is good and valuable for him. This handling of the set conditions, in reference to an exclusion from the group, does not only refer to him, however, but also to his brother and also to Herbert R., to whom you should likewise suggest these things. The requirements are valid for Herbert, and unfortunately, we now have to place such in a relentless form that he attends to his duties in such a manner as is already taken for granted by every other group member. The minimum contribution for the monthly payments, which was worked out by me at that time, still applies to him, without which your center cannot be maintained, and the necessary work cannot be done. It is unfortunate that I have to deal with these material concerns for the group, but I have no choice because the group members are too lenient in this regard. Also, in reference to the meditation exercises, Herbert R. knows very well that he has to incorporate himself twice a month into these exercises in the center, to which he has no longer devoted himself, however, for several months. But it is also the same with the appearance at the 2 meetings every month, from which he has already been absent for a long time. It is, therefore, now declared, and to be sure, for all group members and all group member candidates, that the meetings on the first and third weekend of every month must be adhered to, as this was determined by an agreement among all group members. An exception can only be made herein for Dorrit Strobel, whose special case is well known to me. For all other group members, however, it is a duty to appear regularly at these meetings. But likewise, their appearance should also be a duty, where they have taken over certain tasks by their own assent or tasks that were given to them by a group decision for important reasons. Failure to comply with this duty on more than 3 occasions and in a demonstrably unjustified form is to be punished from now on by an exclusion from the group in the aforementioned manner that was explained by me. Even Herbert has the possibility of adhering to the requests to the 2 meetings per month, if he only wants to strive for this. In a good teaming up with Guido Moosbrugger, he also has a means to get to the center, as I have determined recently. But it should be left to Herbert R. So as to how he manages the solution, because I do not want to interfere in these things. It should be clear to him, however, that no more forbearance can be granted to him in the future, neither from our side nor from yours. Now I still have to speak a few words about a matter into which I would not interfere in principle. Nevertheless, certain things now demand this because already on several occasions I have encountered the fact that Elsie still moves on those tracks, which already had to be objected by me at an earlier time. At that time, you told me what Elsie said to my explanations and that she did not accept my statements. At that time, I found it valuable to give my statements in such a manner that they were only accessible to Elsie. Since she ignored this, however, and simply disregarded it, she now forces me to explain to her once more, in this form and according to the will of Ptah, that she raises unjustified claims of ownership and can claim no rights whatsoever. The time of that time has passed and cannot be carried over to today. She should finally be clear about this, so that she also finally becomes master of her excessive jealousy and injustice, which she preserves and displays out of her false view over current and former matters. Through her conduct, she not only hurts, but she also treats disparagingly. Of course, I already know that she will deny this, but it is still so, and it would be better for her if she herself would admit this fact. Otherwise, she causes a lot of evil and begins to endanger the group, together with its existence. She should now finally be clear about the fact that she can neither place demands nor does she possess old traditional rights. She should finally become conscious of this. She finds a guide to her becoming conscious of these things in your work, which you have done, but unfortunately, she lays out the statements and laws and recommendations contained therein, only in the manner that she wants to see them for her own benefit, without noting the facts and the human laws of the present, even only in the slightest degree. At last she is to become reasonable, and is to see the things altogether in such a manner, and own them all in such a manner as they truly are. Otherwise, it leads to catastrophe.
This is all damn unpleasant.
It is also my hope that this is the last time that I have to discuss and clarify such things. With that, it really should finally be enough now. In our last visit, Simyase was so very happy about the fact that everything was back to being almost as it was at an earlier time, and now I have to rummage around in these foul things again. How sorry I am about all this, and it disgusts me already.
That is why you probably also have not taken it well. I understand. I am damn sorry for you. Really, Quetzal.
Just leave it. Come, I will still connect you to the device. Then I will go again.
As you wish. I really am very sorry, Quetzal.
Come now.